listeners, book babes and book bros. Welcome to Book Babble. I'm your host, Tanya, and I have my co-host, Melissa, here today. Melissa, would you like to introduce yourself?
And Melissa, hi.
Melissa and I met on Bookstagram, and she is one of my best Bookstagram friends. And today we have Stacey as our interviewee. Stacey, would you like to introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Hi, I'm Stacey LP. I am a sci-fi slash fantasy slash paranormal writer, and I'm from Austin, Texas.
Well, thank you, Stacey, again for joining us today. We're so excited to have you. Are you ready to babble?
I'm so ready.
All right, I'll kick us off with our 5 minutes on the clock. Maybe. I don't know why it's not starting. 1 second.
Gotta love technology.
It just keeps saying loading. Okay, 5 minutes now. So, Stacey, we usually like to ask first what kind of got you into writing, what inspired you to write?
Yeah, so ever since I was a little kid, I've been obsessed with books. My punishment when I was little would be my parents would take them away because frequently I would be reading past my bedtime. So I've always been obsessed with books. I started writing from an early age, and I went to college for English literature, where I also took a bunch of creative writing courses. So it's just kind of always been something I am obsessed with.
Amazing. Yeah. Okay, Melissa, your turn.
Okay. Oh, I like this one. If you had to go on a date with one character from your books, who would it be and what would you do?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I love so many of my characters. So let me think. Okay. So I would probably have to I would pick Jason. He's one of the male main characters from my series Afterglow Rising. And he's just so much fun and he's so sweet and has such a big heart. And also he likes pop punk shows and I like pop punk shows. So I feel like we could go to like a really fun concert, you know?
Oh my gosh, yes. So, keeping with that theme, who would be in your girl gang if you were to choose them from your books?
Oh my gosh, all of them. Definitely Alina. Alina is the female main character from the Afterglow Rising series, and she is she's the corniest sense of humor. She is so sweet and just genuinely cares about all of her friends so much. So I know that she would be like your ride or die. Kind of on the flip side, and this is a little bit controversial because a lot of people do not like this character, but I love her. My character Red. She's abrasive, she's brash, she's like brutally honest, but she's also someone who you want in your corner because she will like throw fists in your honor.
I need her in my girl gang. She sounds amazing.
No kidding. Oh gosh. Oh, this is fun. What's your favorite trope to read versus write?
I feel like it has to be slow burn for both. I am such a sucker for slow burn. One of my favorite books is The Spark of the Everflame
Oh my
series.
Oh,
gosh.
And
obsessed.
the definition of slowest burn, but so worth it when you get to that moment. I also have slow burn in my book because again, like that buildup of tension and like the yearning, I can't resist.
I
I
ache, I
agree.
yearn. Oh, yes, the best. Uh,
Yes.
so which of your characters do you relate to the most on like a personal level?
Yeah, so my character Brian, he's someone that is always there for the people he cares about, and he almost to a fault where he will put everyone above himself. And he's that type of person where it's like he's in everyone's corner. He's always there, but then he's always like, wait, but like, is there someone there for me? And it's
Oh,
a long time to get to that point where I'm like, yeah, like I have the people in my corner who are also there for me. And he hasn't gotten there yet, but he will.
that's so cute and sad.
Oh,
Oh.
makes my heart hurt. Uh,
All right, we've got 1 minute left.
Oh no.
Crunch time.
What's your most unpopular author opinion?
Ooh.
Edit while you write. Everyone says not to do it. I do it, and I will never stop.
So on the flip side, what is your most popular author opinion?
Write the first draft. It's probably going to be terrible, but you got to get the first draft to get the rest of the book. So you just keep going with it.
I love that. All right, Melissa, 30 seconds. Can you get another one in?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Ah,
The pressure is on.
I can't think straight now. You I can't do it when I'm on the spot.
That's okay. We have 8 seconds, so we're good now.
We're good.
That was so fun though, watching you panic. Um,
We
all
have
right, so
music too.
that is the lovely sound that it makes when time is up. Um, so we are through our 5 minute AMA. We'll post the 5 minutes on our social channels like Instagram and TikTok, and then the full interview will go on Spotify and YouTube.
Okay.
So we're just gonna keep on chatting. So, Stacey, you're an indie author, and we love having indie authors on the show just to get more information and more insight into the indie author journey. Can you talk a little bit about yours?
Yeah, so I decided to write my book when I got laid off from my full-time day job. I worked at the same company for almost a decade, so naturally, when I was laid off, I was devastated. And my friends were like, "Well, Stacey, you should just take this time and write a book." And I'm like, "Why not?"
Yeah.
That's kind of my philosophy with everything is like, why not? Let's see what happens. Let's see how far we can take this thing. So I started researching the different ways of publishing and how you go about the traditional route versus how do you like where do you publish a book if you go the indie route, and I had the time to dedicate to that process. And the more I read, the more I realized I really wanted to have my hands in every single piece of the process, so I decided to go the indie route.
I've heard that you have a lot more control as an indie author. Did you ever try to go trad?
No, I haven't, but I
Okay.
think I want to just for the experience with one of my future ideas that is more like to market, I guess.
I'd love to like get a comparison of the two just to see how much less control you have as trad. Just because again, I've heard that you have so much more as an indie author. So if you ever go trad, let me know. I would love to pick your brain about it.
I'll keep you posted on that journey. I think too, it depends on, like who you have as an agent and the contracts that you get involved in. I've followed some other indie authors' journeys who did go the traditional route after getting very successful as an indie author. And one of the things that they always say is that, you want to have an agent who's going to advocate for you and make sure that what you're doing with your books is still at the heart of like what you set out to do. So I think that's a huge portion of it too that like we don't really hear as much about that just started becoming more of a thing as more indie authors have gotten signed traditional.
That's a good point, yeah. Um, I just lost my train of thought. I was gonna ask another indie author question. So, do you have any advice to aspiring authors who might not want to go trad?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the most important pieces of being an indie author is really building your own community. Um, I learned a lot from just reaching out to random people on threads and on Instagram and asking questions. And I got really lucky in the early days where someone on threads just randomly posted, "Hey, who wants to start a writer group chat?" And I was like, I do. Not expecting anything to come of it. But lo and behold, they set up the group chat, and I ended up meeting some of my closest author friends through that chat. And some of them had already published a book or two. So I was able to like set up Zoom calls and be like, help, I don't know what I'm doing. So that community piece, I think, is one of the most important pieces to build. And also, don't be afraid to slide in someone's inbox because more often than not, they're going to be so excited you reached out in general. And like, worst thing that can happen is they never respond or they'd be like, well, I just don't feel like talking. And then you move
Yeah.
on.
Honestly, I feel like community is such a big aspect of books and publishing and everything. Like I said, I met Melissa through Bookstagram, and
Yeah.
had I not started one and had she not slid into my inbox, we would have never met, and she wouldn't be on this podcast with me today. And I
Right.
think that's true for indie authors as well. Like you can make so many good connections, other authors, fans, other small business owners. Like there are so many resources on social media.
Yeah. Yeah. And like speaking of like small business owners, I work with the Crafty Bookstore and I remember I don't remember if Bailey reached out to me or if I reached out to Bailey, but either way, like we got that process started and I've been working with the Crafty Bookstore for I don't know how long now. We just renewed our like consignment agreement and like these indie businesses and like indie bookstores and online bookstores have been such a huge source of support that like they're just so excited to work with indie authors and that's another way to like grow within the community too is like really connecting with those small businesses. So I love that you brought that up.
Yeah, Melissa and I, we actually both co-own two different PR companies for indie authors. I have Iris Influencer Society and she has Crowns and Chaos. And we both companies go hard for, I mean, any authors, but we go really hard for the indies because you all deserve just as much hype as someone who is published traditionally, and we want you to get that. It's such a close-knit community. I love it.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, okay, so we are almost at time, Stacey. I want to open the floor up to you and Melissa both if there's anything that you all wanted to talk about really quickly before we end the call.
Melissa, do you want to go first?
Um,
I know I'm putting you on the spot. If you don't
I
have anything,
know.
Me
that's
too. I'm like, so Melissa.
I love talking to indie authors. I am infamous for sliding all up in some DMs and leaving all of my word vomit about
It's my favorite.
everything that gets, if you have got all that angst and yearning and whatever, I will be all over it. All over it. It's my
She's
That
favorite.
is
girl.
my favorite thing is when readers reach out and they're like, Stacey, what are you doing to me?
I hope you know what you just did by inviting Melissa to do that to you.
Oh,
Ooh,
yes. I want to hear it. I want to hear it all.
don't worry, I'll be there. 2 a.m. It's like my favorite time.
Yep.
50 Shades of Morley Gray just sent you a message.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Stacey, what about you? Is there anything that you'd like to talk to your fans about or announce any big anything?
Yeah, so a couple things. So first I have to, give the shout out to Afterglow because
The covers are
I wrote
gorgeous.
it. So Afterglow is a post-apocalyptic alien invasion aftermath story set in Austin, Texas, with a slow burn romance subplot. So yeah, I'm working on doing my own sprayed edges and like all that fun stuff. So you can see I've been
They're
experimenting on
so
my copies.
pretty.
I'm a
Um,
slut for a sprayed edge.
Gosh, right? I cannot resist.
Nope.
And I always like to give a shout out to like some of my indie author friends. So I have a book that I would like to, well, two books I would like to shout out. So this is Burn and Sate from author Lauren Lee. She is a suspense romance author. Her books have like the perfect mix of action and um like the romance aspect and why choose and you are literally on the edge of your seat the entire time waiting to see what happens next. I'm obsessed with her books. It's a duology. So you get to read one character and then go right into the next character, and I cannot hype these books up enough. And also like the covers are gorgeous. Um,
Yes.
But yeah, so had to shout her out. And also, there's an event coming up next year in 2026 in May. So tickets just went on sale today, August 8th. It's just another bookish ball. It's in Pennsylvania, and the showrunners have been hyping this up so much. I'm like, I've been signed up to do it for so long, and like every time I see it, I'm like, I want it to be now. So check it out because there are a lot of indie authors who are going to be going there, and it's like it looks so much fun. I am counting down the days.
We're excited for you, and I hope that lots of people get to come and meet you. We will, put that also in the episode so people know to come see you. And also, Stacey, if you want to let your author friends know to reach out to us, we'd be happy to have them on the show as well, just to, help them get some exposure too.
Awesome.
Well, thank you, Stacey, and thank you, Melissa. I had such a fun time today, and I hope to
Me
have both of you
too.
on again soon.
This was super fun, short and sweet.
Yes. All right. Have a good weekend.
Bye.
Bye.